Okay, what's your name?
John McCoy,
How old are you?
36,
And what year were you born?
1977.
Okay, so first question. What TV show would you say influenced you the most during your childhood?
In what aspect?
Like the most positive influence that you would say, that you can remember it and
Uh, I watched a ton of shows, and I think they all had different things that appealed to me. I mean, if I had to think right off the top of my head, there was a TV show called Wonder Years with Fred Savage, I believe his name is. And I was always fascinated with the 1960s, and this was sort of a transition from the 1960s into the early 1970s, and
Right.
it was, the change of innocence into the realities of life with the Vietnam War, and I just thought that was, I don't know why that meant so much to me. I just thought it was cool to watch a kid from his adolescence go into his years where he had to make a decision as an adult.
which kind of helped you would say?
I don't know if I liked it because it helped me per se. I think I was just really liked the whole idea of the 60s into the 70s. I think the music was cool, the cultural. It was sort of an awakening, but at the same time, there was an innocence that was really, that I don't think the country's ever seen since. So it was sort of that transition from innocence into consciousness at that point.
Okay. Second question. What is your opinion regarding today's fashion?
I think that skinny jeans are silly. Tight jeans are one thing, but skinny jeans are silly. It makes everybody look stupid. A female's figure, I don't know if I should even go there.
You can't. It's fine. It's an interview.
It makes people's butts look weird. If you have a butt, it makes you look like you don't have one, especially skinny high rise. Those are like the most ridiculous thing. I just think they're silly jeans. I think that form fitting, slightly fitting are cool, but when they look like they're painted on, especially boys, it's like, I don't know, way too feminine at that point. I like that some of the things from the 80s are coming back. I think that's sort of cool. Hopefully not all the things from the 80s are coming back. But again, like those short shorts that are high rise, those went out for a reason. Like they should just be left out. What else with fashion? I like the Vans and stuff like that. Those are cool.
Those are sort of classic though. Like they're not.
Yeah, we wore those, and
There's like stuff that's, I wouldn't really say vintage sort of, but people
timeless.
Yeah, there's like timeless stuff
There's
that's
some
sort of
timeless
going on.
things, and some things that aren't timeless for a reason.
Right.
The skinny jeans and those high-rise shorts the girls are wearing are silly.
Okay. Second question. Well, I mean, this is kind of obvious, but do you have tattoos? If not, would you like to have them?
I do have tattoos, and I would like to have more.
Right. What do you think, like, the stereotypes with them? Do those bother you, or do you not really care?
It bothers me on one hand. On another hand, I don't care. I mean, I'm in sales, so and I'm in people's homes, and I do get looks, and especially from ultra-conservative people, you get looks, and it bothers me and it doesn't bother me. I mean, I hope that people don't judge me and I don't get a sale based upon tattoos alone. I hope that
that's not your personality. Like, it doesn't immediately show who you are.
That's right. In other situations, it's cool because it's sort of, you're an instant fit in because you have that, with certain cultures. So I don't know. I love tattoos.
Okay.
Now there are tasteful tattoos,
right?
And
then there's some.
And I've always liked the ones like on the hands, and I would love to get those, but those are called job quitters. Like, they're way cool, but I do think that some people necessarily don't think it through all the way.
But it's a permanent thing on your body.
Yeah, I mean, I can hide mine and still be professional, but when you start putting them on your knuckles, on your neck, on your face, it's like...
That's a different territory.
Totally.
Okay. If you had to listen to one of these radio stations for the rest of your life, what would you prefer? 80s music, 90s music, or today's top hits?
80s.
Is it because you sort of grew up then, or is that just your favorite out of everything? Because, I mean, I know you listen to all kinds of music.
80s music, it probably because of the nostalgia of growing up with the 80s music, but really because today's music sucks. Now, with the exception of like Mumford and Sons and the Shins, Spoon.
Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah, those are really cool.
That's a different total genre, though. The stuff that plays on the radio station isn't necessarily what you would pick.
I couldn't even name half the people. Mason Go. It's. I think that there's not a lot of soul in music today, and
right.
I think that people's voices are. I just read an article today about Kanye West. I think he's an idiot, first off, but
musically, he
just turned down a $4.5 million deal because he said that he's tired of doing hip hop because it's all commercialized and there's not soul. Whatever he was saying,
right.
I hope the movement comes back around to where there's soul. Recently on the radio, I've been listening to a lot of 50s and 60s music. Just because, I mean, there's songs that mean...
I mean, that's sort of like when music... Not like that's exactly when it took off, but that's when you sort of had all these talented, really, like, musically talented artists that came out and were...
Yeah, I mean, there was an innocence. It was, like, pretty simple. Tell your girl how much you love her, and, it's pretty simple. I mean, right. I think a lot of this stuff... I mean, there are very few... Like, Justin Timberlake, I think, is a really talented guy. And I think
he knows how to work everything. Like, it's all a show, technically, which people argue what pop music is. It's a show. But a lot of the times there's nothing else but that.
I like something that's thought through.
Right.
If it's not thought through, if it's mindless, then forget about it.
Right. Okay. And then, would you rather have a high-paying job that you absolutely hate or a moderate-paying job that you enjoy?
B.
Why?
I think that the hardest thing in life is it's not earning money. It's finding the balance between earning money and life. I also believe that once you build your life around money, then trying to find yourself or that seek answers in your life or spiritual or emotional peace or balance. It's so tough because you have your house, your cars, your lifestyle based upon a monetary fix.
Right.
Trying to go backwards is darn near impossible. I think if you were able to sustain yourself and to find that happy balance, I think that would be the best world. Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs, I just read an article and it made total sense. He got blasted because he said, do not follow your dreams. So if your passion in life is a fruit carver and you love fruit, you love carving, and that's what you're going to be, and that's your passion in life, it's not necessarily realistic. What are you going to do? Put everything on the line to be a fruit carver? So I think there has to be balance of passion, but also being realistic about money and how you're going to support yourself and your family and provide for them.
Right.
So again, choice B. I would rather have a mediocre paying job and have a life than be wealthy and have no life or be miserable.
Okay, and then last question is, do you consider yourself more conservative or liberal? Or you're not really sure, it's a mix, like moderate, I guess?
I guess moderate. I mean, should I go into detail about that?
I mean, if you feel like you can like if there's a reason why, like if your parents raised you a certain way or if it's the culture that you grew up in.
I think it has to do with logic. I think a lot of our party lines are based upon bullheadedness and stubbornness and not really. I think if you take one stand on any particular issue, then you're not being realistic. Abortion. Abortion is bad, and you should never do that. Well, until your daughter is raped and now you're potentially going to have this child around that's probably going to remind you of something horrible. Whatever the case is, my point of that is if you take a stand, anyone stands, and don't look at it from other people's viewpoints, I think that you're doing yourself a disservice, and you're doing yourself a disservice. I would like to say that I'm conservative on some. I think that everybody should work. I work very hard for what I have. I don't like people freeloading and getting things for free. Do I think those people that can't provide for themselves legitimately or people that fall on hard times should get help? Absolutely. So I'm not conservative and I'm not liberal. I don't know what I would call myself.
You're not going to put a label on it, is what you're saying.
No.
Right.
I mean, if I had to vote right now, it would be, what was the term? Libertarian. I think fighting for constitutional rights is a very positive thing. But at the same time, I even think some of those people are extremes. I think anytime you take too extreme of a stance on something else, you're being closed-minded.
That's a good answer. Thank you, John.
You're welcome.